it's not that I don't need an introduction. It's just that I'm a storyteller, so I usually weave an introduction into kind of my stories. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm with Autodesk. And I've been with Autodesk long enough to understand a few things. First of all, I'm probably the first genetic scientist that Autodesk ever hired. It's in fact, you know, I'm actually supposed to be a distinguished scientist. It's all lies. What I really am is a catalyst. I'm an enzyme. I love to go and put people together and catalyze new reactions, to do new things, to do novel things. People in groups get together and they create the future. That's what I love to do. But like any good enzyme, I need substrate. So I'm always going out to meetings like this, talking to different people, finding people doing cool things, putting them together, and really amazing stuff happens. I love that. But when you meet a lot of people, you inevitably get asked the same questions, like, who are you, what do you do, who do you work for? And I always cringe, because when I say, well, I work for Autodesk, people get this glazed look in their eyes. Now, I'm sure if I said I work for Boeing or I work for Starbucks, they'd immediately get it and the conversation would just roll forward. But instead, they kind of look like they're trying to remember my name or something from a dream last night. In fact, most of you look that way now. So, I want a real relationship with you guys. I really do. So let me just start from scratch. Autodesk makes software. We are a big software company. And in fact, my friend Dave Gray, the author of a book called The Connected Company, sums it up beautifully. He says Autodesk is the largest software company you've never heard of. And it's probably true. What we do, what we're best known for, what usually gets a glimmer in people's minds, is that we made AutoCAD, computer-aided design. It was our first product over 31 years ago, and it kind of revolutionized the way people started to design things. That's usually all people know. But in fact, we have an entire ecosystem of software tools that have been developed over the last 30 years to help people imagine, design, create the world around us. And I wanted to give you an introduction to this, kind of the sense of scale. And I really can't do it, you know, in words. So if the sound is on, I'd really like to just give you a little taste of Autodesk for 2 minutes and some of the stuff that people use our software for, because it's used in some pretty fascinating ways. thing is, just about everything that's made in the world is touched by Autodesk software in some way. I didn't know this before I started the company, but now that I'm inside, I see it. But we're changing, because the company's over 30 years old, and the world's been changing. Today, anyone, everyone is a maker. And a lot of things have really changed in the world to make that possible. Things like the internet, social networking, better hardware, 3D printing, crowdfunding, and of course software tools have been improving remarkably too. Synthetic biology is a part of that new making, and we realized we have to adapt. So we started adapting with the consumer group about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was really remarkable because I think in about 30 years of business we had 12 million professional customers, the people that do this type of work. In about 4 years of having consumer customers, we had over 130 million people come into the space and try these types of maker tools. It's really a revolution happening, and you're kind of the thin edge of the wedge. A few years ago, we recognized we didn't have any software tools, design tools, that would allow you to design molecules, that would allow you to design living things, or things that didn't need to be built, but self-assembled. And at the start of 2012, Autodesk formed a new group called Bio-Nano Programmable Matter, which, by the way, is an awesome conversation starter. Our first product, the thing that we are working on, is a platform that we call Project Cyborg. Now, we didn't just want to make one application. We really wanted to make a platform, something that people could build on top of in the same way that lots of people build the world on top of the other design tools. And this is just a screenshot, but it's actually from the working system. And it allows code to be added, it allows nodes to be connected, it's completely extensible. And some of the things that I want to point out on this, it's been in development for about 1.5 years now, because there's some really hard things that we're doing here. It starts off with a multi-dimensional workspace. Not just 3D, 4D, and other dimensions if you need that too. The workspace has, and the reason why that is because we live in a 3D world. We're used to working in 3D space. It's harder to visualize things in 2D. This space has multi-physics engines. It's got physics engines, biophysics engines, whatever other engines you want to write. It has elastic computing capability, so you don't have to be a genius to tap into the power of the cloud. And of course, as you can see, we're experts in modeling, visualization, and simulation, and all that's getting, built into the process. And more, if you don't know what to design, and so often that's the case in biology, you can just let go of the wheel, and multi-objective optimization processes can explore design space. That's really what evolution does. You can just let go and see where it takes you. Also, and this is the important part, this tool is meant to integrate with the larger suite of tools. And there's like 150 other programs that we make. I couldn't even list them. But it's meant to integrate and talk to those things. So if you want a new biomaterial for a building, you can kind of build it into an integrated process. So this is really important to us. It's moving forward. And in fact, for such an old company, we've been getting a lot of attention. And this is just the cover of Wired in Wired UK last month. And this is really quite revolutionary. In fact, the whole consumer side has been really revolutionary. But we're starting to get attention for some of these things, even though we're really just, a lot of it is just our size and the fact that we're talking about it and kind of laying down the landscape. But this is work that we're all involved in, and it's exciting. And of course, biology, I truly believe, is the new software. But I've got a secret for you. We haven't figured it all out. Not at all. We don't really know who our customers are going to be for Project Cyborg yet. We don't know who's going to build on top of it, or what they're going to build and what problems they're going to solve. We don't know how we're going to make money in it yet either. But then lots of people are playing in this space and they haven't figured that out too. But what we have figured out is that this is an incredibly exciting area, that it's not going to go away, that it has global, possibilities, that it has big challenges, but we're up to solving them, particularly when we can work together. And we're not going to go away. I just want to thank and point out some of the members of our team. We've grown really quickly from the start of 2012 with 5 people to almost 20 now, and it's moving very quickly. If you want any more information on Autodesk or Project Cyborg, or maybe you want to talk about putting your project onto the platform, there's an email there, and thank you so much for your attention. Programmable matter. All matter is kind of programmable, just some harder than others. Hi. It's, you know, the essential part is it is a platform, so you can create nodes of code, run them and connect them to other nodes of code, so you can build pipelines for analysis, for building, etc. But one of the beautiful things about it is it does have visualization and simulation engines built in, and it's got built-in cloud capability, so you really don't need to be a top-level programmer to be able to do this. If you can do any type of scripting, you're pretty much ready to go with this type of program. Yeah, it's been pretty. We built on the foundation of some of the consumer stuff, but we've basically extensively modified it. We're taking, you know, the company's changed radically from, you know, selling these very expensive software products, you know, to professionals, to a world where everyone downloads apps for 99 cents. So we didn't want to go and build a tool that would only be suitable for a large pharmaceutical company. We really want, we feel we're part of this community and that we're growing alongside it, and we want to make sure that there's, you know, a robust repository that's not going to go away, where you can keep building on. We may not be successful. Other people are doing the same thing. But you know, I'm really proud that, you know, we're with a company that has the resources to do this. Hi. I can't speak for all the research. I wasn't with the company then. I joined them when they created the BioNano group. But my first introduction to Autodesk was in 2009. And that's when we asked the CEO if he was interested in exploring synthetic biology and the design of living things. And that opened up and he introduced me to Carlos Holguin, the head of the BioNano group, who really loves nanotechnologies. And so this is the genesis of the group, but they did about 2 years moving through the different communities, examining projects, looking at what was exciting and where things were going and making investments in different groups and partnerships to really understand the space. From my point of view, there's so much to be done. Like, we're still just scratching the surface, but I love the standardization that's in synthetic biology and the mass that the field is getting. And nanotechnology has very few direct output devices right now, but it's still a massive area for analysis, simulation, design, etc.